Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today, I can't get that right, today I've got for you a video in the Renegade, the M54, a tier 8 American premium tank, tier 8 American heavy, and in my opinion one of the better tier 8 premiums in the game. Probably, I can't remember exactly where it appeared in my top 10 list. I think it was either 4th or 5th. So yeah, definitely up there. Very good tank. You can tell it's a very good tank by how high the marks of excellence are, how high the ace tanker is, and it's just all round an absolutely lovely tank. So first things first, we are on Redshire. We're in a tier 10 game. It's not something you want to see when you load in your Renegade. You do not want to see 2 Crown Vungs on your team, a Crown Vung on the enemy team, a Vita 55 and a 4005. That's just a very quick way of dying, if you ask me. I'm moving down onto the 3 line. This is something I do quite often on Redshire. I don't particularly, from the north base, I don't like going across to the heavy fight, because the amount of times, like Redshire, I think it's well known that on Redshire, from the south, any decent light tank player will always move into kind of this E7 area, kind of in the bushes by the river, anywhere here, and it basically makes the crossing pretty much impossible to get across for free, or you have to take a really weird line that usually then, if you come right around the back to avoid getting being in render from the tank destroyers and stuff sniping up here, then you compromise how long it takes you to get there, and then by the time you get into position, you're already getting farmed by by some of the other guys. So I've pretty much always been off going to that side of the map, because you just lose so much HP, like, before you actually even get to the part of the fight that you want to, and it doesn't work. Especially, I looked at this game and I went, well, Scorpion, AT-15, 4005. Absolutely not. That's not happening. Not in a million years. So I have come to the 1-2 line. Initially going for the 3 line, I always got up into that into the bush up here. I got proxied by a barrage, so I had to fall straight back down. But usually you can get up into it. You can put a shot into something crossing, something over here, or sometimes if a tank destroyer is poked up too far, you either get a shot in, or you can sometimes spot them as well and actually get like a free shot or a free amount of spotting. I then usually traditionally move into this position here. As you can see, it's a very aggressive position, especially given that there's a Crown Vung on the enemy team. There's an AT-15. Spin the turret around, snapshot him, 387, very nice damage, and pick up our first damage of the game. Now, I do have a Skoda T56 with me. I'm not overly thrilled about that. RT, obviously, always an issue. I've noticed that I've been getting hit by RT a hell of a lot more recently. I don't know what it is. It might just be me. It might just be a placebo, but have kind of noticed it. AT-15's Cupola, absolutely going to town on it. Like, it's one reason the AT-15A is so awful. Like, not because the tank necessarily itself is awful. Like, the gun on the AT-15 is actually quite nice. And the armor is decent outside of the Cupola. It's one of those tanks that everybody knows exactly where to shoot. Now, you kind of see me backing off a little bit here. That's because the Emil 2 moved down into a position that it looked like he was about to push me. I was just getting ready, just preparing myself so that if he did push me, I was at least in a spot that's good enough to be able to fall back, to be able to get a couple of shots in as he moved in, so that I wouldn't just straight up die. AT-15A, I don't mean AT-15A, AT-15 fallen back, but again, the Cupola, still the bane of his life, and we do manage to finish him off, which is very nice, because AT-15s, although they don't seem like much of a threat, if you kind of ignore them, the DPM with a 20-pounder gun can really tear into you. Obviously, they're so easy to play around, you just have to make sure that you don't forget about them. Also, this game, we have picked up a little bit of spotting, most of which on that barrage, because when you peek this area, you do actually quite often get spots on tank destroyers, or medium tanks, heavy tanks in this case, on the Samoa, who are poking up in, like, on their camping hill, if you want to call it that, in kind of the G5 position. 2 enemy Scorpions all the way at the back. I'm trying to see if I can wedge my tank up, see if I can get a shot into them, but unfortunately I can't. Now, I will just say, guys, in terms of real world, apologies for not uploading much recently. I've done a couple of shorts, which have been Twitch clips, but you could probably hear from my voice, it's still not 100% better. And if you don't follow me on Twitch, then maybe you won't know, but I had COVID, I tested negative again last Sunday. But basically, I had COVID for the best part of like 10 days. I have absolutely no idea where that shell went. Scorpion also manages to hit me. I readjust because he did just hit me in the back of the turret. I was convinced I was going to hit the rock with that shot, but that one penned. That's so weird that one penned and the previous one didn't, which is always interesting. But yeah, basically, I had COVID. It was really affecting my throat. Like, I had a really bad sore throat, and was kind of struggling with that. So it was kind of one of those. Again, we bounce off of some more, man. Feels sad. It was one of those. It was really quite difficult for me to speak. I was streaming the whole time, but I was like doing basically quiet streams, so I was barely talking. I couldn't put as much energy or enthusiasm into making YouTube, so I thought, if they're not going to be like my standard YouTube videos, like if I'm just going to do lazy videos, then I'm not going to do videos. I'll just give it a break for a bit. Like I say, I uploaded some shorts just based on Twitch clips, and yeah, we should be back now. Obviously, I'm not going to guarantee it because, you know, I do still work full time, so it will still be the same spotted schedule that is always the case with me. Like, sometimes it will be constant uploads, sometimes it really won't. It just depends on when I'm working, how much I'm working, and stuff like that. And I hope you guys all understand. Like, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I would love to be, but I'm not. I have to work, so unfortunately I do have to kind of have more of a spotty schedule than I usually would. And also, I focus a lot on streaming as well. So if you aren't already following me on Twitch, then do make sure you head over. Link will be in the video description. It's in the description of all of my videos. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Enough about me. So we did have that enemy Samur. He did try and push. I did the sensible thing, fell back so that I was in a good position. Because, to be fair to the Samur, he did kind of, like, at the time, I think I was on about 500 HP, or maybe even a little bit more, and the Skoda was on less than 300, so technically, the Skoda was one shot, and I was like a 2 or a 3 shot, so for him, he could still afford to miss one, and he still manages to finish me off. If I'd have remained in the position I would have, he probably would have quite easily finished me off. However, I did fall back. I managed to get into a position that when he came over onto me, we managed to track him, and then the Skoda managed to finish him off, which was really nice. We only took one in return for that. Artie had another pop at me again just there, but fortunately, we do get a very nice shot in return on him, and it's always satisfying to hit Artie, especially as you high roll as well for 390 damage. Which is very nice. For any of you who are wondering, like, fully what the Renegade is all about, now I'm saying this, I'm doubting myself, but I'm 90% sure that I do have a tank review up on my YouTube channel. If I do, I will link it in the description. If I don't, then I will call myself stupid in the description. But yeah, this tank is absolutely lovely. I love playing this tank. It's just one of those jack-of-all-trades tanks. It's a bit like the Patriot. I would say worse armor, but more competitive gun. I'm not going to say better gun, because the Patriot's gun is decent. The trouble with the Patriot's gun is, in World of Tanks 2022... 240 alpha for a tier 8 heavy is very much on the low side. Like, it's not particularly good. Having the 360 is much better. I think the Renegade is slightly faster. I would say the armor is pretty much the same, other than the fact that the Renegade has got the big old chunky cupola, which really does suck because it's just basically a please shoot me here button. But I would definitely say that the gun on the Renegade is much better, and especially when you fire HE at a 4005 and roll for 472 and then 498 out of 440, which is very nice. This game, I think I was using up all of my good RNG for probably about the next, I don't know, possibly 2 to 3 months. I'm not really sure. I don't really want to think about it because I can already see shots missing. For example, there, roll for 404, and then 472, 374 on the KPZ, and we also get 795 tracking damage as well for well, tracking him. Funny that. That's how we roll. You guys would never guess that, would you? That tracking damage would come from tracking someone. Anyway, that was all she wrote in the Renegade. 4,879 damage, 2,415 assisted, and a smidge blocked by armor from a Scorpion round. Really, really, really not too bad in a tier 10 game. Relatively close game as well at the end, even though numbers-wise we still had 6 tanks left alive. The enemy team, our team, we only had 2,000 HP left. Like, a lot of us, I think pretty much everybody was a one-shot. Like, obviously, Artie has 500 of that health. So the other 5 tanks left alive on the team all have 1,500 HP combined, which, you know, when, like, the 4,000 is left alive, and the KPZ as well. The KPZ being on full HP, if he wasn't in such a trash position, he kills him in one shot, he kills me in one shot, he kills the Crown in one shot, and it's got a quick firing gun. 2 shots on the Scorpion, 2 shots on the T10, and then it's just Artie. I'm not saying it's an easy win, but it's definitely possible. Definitely possible. I've got a couple of big old holes in the side of my tank. But anyway, that is all she wrote for this replay, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we will go take a very quick look at the post-game stats. I'm pretty sure I've already spoiled it in the title, because it definitely sounds like something I would do. And one of the biggest things for me when making YouTube videos that aren't like tank reviews or like the rankings videos that I've done recently, it's always the title. I never know what to title videos. So I definitely, even thinking about it now, I know what I'm going to title this video. But I'll let post-game stats max still play with your mind, and then you'll just go, oh yeah, you put it in the title, you tit. Anyway, let's go take a very quick look at the post-game stats. So, there we go, guys. That was the M54 Renegade, and that was an ace. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was 1 XP off an ace. It just was. I will edit right now. And hopefully that was a picture of what the actual ace tanker requirements for the M54 Renegade were. And if we go over into my into the little the post-game stats here, you will notice that this number is 1 less than that number. Obviously, ace tankers do change in numbers, so if you now yourself go, oh well, Max, I've just been on Tomato GG or What Garage, other websites are available, and the ace tanker is actually lower than the game that you had, or is actually higher, so you were not 1 XP off an ace, I'm going to come to your house and slap you. Because that was taken at the time of the ace, and as you can see, it was 1 XP, so get off my back. But anyway, 4,879 damage, 2 kills, which is kind of low on the kill side, which is definitely why we didn't get the ace. 1,540 base XP. It was a first class, Confederate, high caliber, and tank sniper. Getting a high caliber in a tier 10 game, in a tier 8 tank, is very, very nice. I was playing this game because I wanted to make credits, and make credits we did with 305,000 credits profit, although there was a mission bonus in there, so that's probably be about still well over 200,000 credits profit from one game, which is not too bad. Fired 16 shots, hit 14, penned 13, not too shabby at all. 2,400 assisted, not too shabby at all. 9 minutes 50-second game, not too shabby at all. Not that I had a huge amount to do with that, but there you go. And yeah, bunch of XP. Very, very nice game. As I said before in the video, guys, apologies for not really uploading much. I had the COVID. As you can hear, my voice still isn't great. So, I don't want to upload a huge amount where I'm like talking like this and I can't really talk properly. Because A, it's not fun for me, and B, it's probably just really annoying for you guys. And yeah, as I said earlier, hopefully I'll get back to uploading more now, but I still have a full-time job. I still, have other things I do, and I do focus more on streaming. I don't think that's much of a secret. I don't think that's much of a anything like that. So yeah, if you do want to head over, check out my Twitch, then link is in the description. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Do really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Give the video a like. make sure notifications are on, all that standard YouTuber crap. And on that, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.